For decades, higher education has historically relied on a single, definitive measurement of human intelligence, the high-stakes final essay. Evaluating this finished product made practical sense. The final document functioned as a reliable proxy for the hours of reading, drafting, and critical thinking required to produce it. Generative AI breaks that proxy. It automates the creation of the final output, removing the human cognitive effort from the equation. We can see the structural vulnerability in this diagram. Traditionally, a prompt connects directly to a finished essay. In an AI-integrated environment, a third node inserts itself and instantly short-circuits this path. The software bypasses the student's input to generate the output. The immediate reaction from many universities was to purchase AI detection software to identify these synthetic outputs. This strategy creates an unwinnable arms race against rapidly improving language models. Preserving academic integrity is a pedagogical vulnerability that requires a structural rethinking of how courses are built. Academia must move its focus away from the polished final product and toward the messy, non-linear process of inquiry. Instructors must require students to document the visible evolution of their thought, measuring how a specific idea changes and refines itself over a 15-week semester. This blueprint illustration shows the difference. An opaque exterior hides how a structure is supported, but a transparent, multi-layered schematic proves exactly how the foundation was built. Observing a student's cognitive evolution provides that exact transparency, guaranteeing a human mind did the work. True AI-resistant design architects educational environments where taking a low-effort automated shortcut is structurally impossible. A single submission research paper exists as one solid block, leaving the creation process hidden. We secure this through iterative scaffolding, breaking the assignment into documented stages: brainstorming, annotated bibliography, reflective draft, and final submission. Evaluating the evolution between these stages reveals genuine human cognition. To authenticate those transition periods, educators must introduce human-in-the-loop requirements. These are mandatory verification checkpoints, such as live, in-class reflection components or oral defenses of the submitted drafts. Generative models, regardless of their sophistication, cannot replicate a live interaction where a student must explain their choices in real time. These checkpoints force the student to verbally take ownership of their documented research and defend why they chose one source over another. Embedding continuous human verification into the workflow ensures that the intellectual work is both visible and verified, prioritizing the student's labor over the final destination. The standard essay prompt, recycled year after year, is an open invitation for automation. Language models excel at synthesizing broad, universal topics. Educators must move towards authentic application, replacing generic questions with highly specific, localized problems. We call these wicked problems. Think of them like the tangled knot in this video, chaotic, unique, and requiring careful human synthesis to untangle. They demanded that a student integrate hyper-specific current events or niche, unrecorded classroom discussions into their answers. AI models fall short when presented with this localization. They lack the recent context and the specific classroom dynamics required to solve unique, messy problems. Standardized prompts are now academic liabilities. Custom, contextual assignments serve as the new baseline for securing academic integrity. Executing this process-oriented curriculum requires faculty members to transition from acting as content gatekeepers to proactive learning architects. This table maps out the overhaul across 3 specific pillars of teaching: assignment design, integrity guidance, and mentorship. Under the first pillar, the gatekeeper's reliance on standardized prompts is replaced by the architect's dedication to building custom, wicked problems. This requires a continuous time investment to weave recent, relevant events into the assignment instructions. For the second pillar, the traditional punitive focus on catching cheaters after the fact is replaced by proactive transparency. Educators must establish the ethical boundaries and known limitations of AI tools on day 1, directly within the syllabus. In the final pillar, the old habit of evaluating only the final submission is discarded. The new mandate is to actively monitor critical thinking development throughout the term. This mentorship approach structurally prevents cheating before a student even considers utilizing a shortcut, because the instructor is involved in every step of the drafting process. Transitioning to this model significantly increases the workload and time commitment required from academic administrators and faculty. The modern educator ensures that learning actually occurred by designing a resilient system, shifting the focus away from the mere judgment of an output. An AI-resistant curriculum does not equate to banning technology or reverting to handwritten exams. A process-oriented curriculum makes low-effort AI irrelevant by rendering its unverified use visible to the professor. To navigate an AI-integrated environment, students must develop the skill of lateral research. When a student accepts a single AI output as absolute truth, they follow a linear path, hitting a cognitive dead end. Lateral research demands branching outward, cross-referencing across diverse, authoritative sources. The student then pulls validated information to synthesize a genuinely new perspective. Mandating lateral research empowers students to elevate AI from a replacement into a rigorous collaborator. Encountering complex new information creates friction. A human eye darting back and forth reflects intense focus, the neurological effort and frustration of solving a complex puzzle. True, permanent learning only occurs within this uncomfortable space of synthesis. Relying solely on AI-generated content bypasses this essential, messy struggle, robbing the student of the actual learning event. In a world where answers are instantaneous, the modern university must evolve its ultimate goal. Institutions must purposefully architect environments that protect and value the human cognitive struggle. A degree must remain a proof of human capability rather than algorithmic efficiency.